Hello students, today I shall be discussing the Mamluk dynasty or the slave dynasty under Delhi Sultanate. Let's continue. Qutbuddin Aibak ruled from 1206 to 1210. After the death of Muhammad Ghori, the governors working under him declared themselves to be independent rulers. Qutbuddin Aibak, who was one of the governors of Ghori, took possession of the territories earlier captured by Muhammad Ghori in India. Qutbuddin Aibak is regarded as the founder of Delhi Sultanate as well as the founder of slave dynasty or the Mamluk dynasty. This dynasty was called slave dynasty because most of the rulers who ruled over these dynasties were slaves to their rulers at the beginning of their career. That means at the beginning of their career, the rulers of the slave dynasty, they were basically slaves. Qutbuddin Aibak is the first ruler of the slave dynasty. At the beginning, he ruled from Lahore, but later moved to Delhi. Because of his kindness and generosity towards his subject, he has been given the title Lakhbaksh or giver of lakhs. He constructed the famous Qutub Minar in honor of a Sufi saint whose name is Qutbuddin Bhaktiar Kaki. Qutbuddin Aibak construction of Qutub Minar was completed by Iltutmish. Qutbuddin Aibak built the famous Quwwat ul Islam Mosque in India, which is also the first mosque built in India. Qutbuddin Aibak is said to have died while playing polo in the year 1210. After Qutbuddin Aibak, we have the rule of Iltutmish. Iltutmish was a very capable ruler and a great administrator. He had to face different rebellions during his rule, and the rebellions were basically coming from the Turkish noble as well as the Rajput chiefs. But being a capable ruler and a good administrator, he was successful in suppressing his enemies. Iltutmish has been regarded as the real founder of Delhi Sultanate because he saved his empire from Mongol invasion by refusing to grant shelter to the Shah of Persia, that is Jalaluddin, who was being attacked by Mongol leader Genghis Khan. The next thing we'll have to look is Iltutmish, who ruled over the slave dynasty for 25 years, that is from 1211 to 1236. He basically was a good administrator who divided his empire into provinces called Iktas, and these Iktas were basically administered by Iqtidars, and the role of the Iqtidar or the responsibility of the Iqtidar was to collect the land revenue and maintain law and order in the Iqta that they administered. Iltutmish introduced silver coins known as tankas and copper coins known as jittals. Since the son of Iltutmish, they were not capable rulers or capable leaders, Iltutmish decided to nominate Razia Sultan, his daughter, as the next successor to the throne of slave dynasty. But the nobles refused to listen to the orders of a female ruler, and hence they conspired against her and decided to make Ruknuddin Firoz Shah as the ruler of slave dynasty after the death of Iltutmish. However, Ruknuddin, who was not a capable ruler, was deposed by Rajia Sultan. Rajia Sultan, she ruled over Delhi Sultanate or the slave dynasty from the year 1236 to 1240. She was the first female ruler in the Muslim world. Her original name is Zalat-uddin Razia. She was a good administrator and a capable leader who fought different rebellions that came in front of her. She favored Yakut, who was one of her slaves, which annoyed the nobles. The nobles conspired and decided to kill her and her husband, whose name was Althunia Balban. Next, coming to Ghiyasuddin Balban. After the death of Razia Sultan, there were many rulers who took over the throne of the slave dynasty, but their rule was very short until we had Nasiruddin Muhammad, who was chosen by the nobles to be the next sultan. But Nasiruddin Muhammad ruled for almost 20 years under the expert guidance of Ghiyasuddin Balban. Ghiyasuddin Balban ruled for almost 20 years, that is from 1266 to 1287. Ghiyasuddin Balban was a very capable leader, a capable ruler who was facing revolt by some of his governors and local Jat and Rajput rulers. Beside all this, he also was facing the fear of Mongol invasion. Being a skillful military leader and successful ruler, he was able to tackle all the threats that was coming from his rebellion groups. He also fortified the old forts and decided to make new forts in order to protect the kingdom from enemies' attack. He was a very powerful ruler, and because of his military success, he is considered to be the most powerful ruler or leader of the slave dynasty. During Balban's rule, there was peace, there was prosperity, and a certain amount of stability in the reign of slave dynasty. Agriculture and commerce prospered during the rule of Ghasuddin Balban, but Ghasuddin Balban is said to have been an autocratic ruler who considered himself to have a divine origin and said that he was a representative of God, and whatever he told was the decision of God. In simple meaning, the decision of the king was regarded as the decision of the God. Ghasuddin Balban came up with two important Persian customs. Number one, Sizda, which means stretching out at the ground, stretching out on the ground with one's forehead touching the ground, and this is done basically to acknowledge the supremacy of the Sultan. And Pybus, that is the other Persian custom that was introduced by Balban. And in Pybus, what was happening? The subjects under Balban, they were kissing the feet of the king to acknowledge the supremacy of the Sultan. After the death of Balban in 1286 AD, the strong monarch of the Mamluk dynasty started having a downfall. And the reason for this downfall was the weak leadership provided to the dynasty by the successors of Balban, or someone who succeeded Balban. They were not capable leaders, and taking advantage of this incapability or like incapable leaders, Jalaluddin Khalji established the Khalji rule in the year 1290. Thank you, students. Stay safe, stay at home, and when we meet in the next video, or when I send you the next video, we shall be looking at the Khalji dynasty. Thank you.